So in this video we're going to be talking about the 6 most beautiful small towns and villages across the island of Ireland. These are my personal favourite 6. Some of them are off the beaten path and some of them are more well known. Number 1 is Doolin in County Clare. Doolin you've probably all heard of because of its proximity to the Cliffs of Moher, but Doolin as a village itself is so cute and so special. Despite being a small village, it really has a lot of accommodation on offer and is the perfect hub to explore the Clare coast. There are 3 things that should be on the top of your to-do list if you're staying in Doolin. Number 1 is doing the Cliffs of Moher walking trail. You can walk all the way from the edge of the village along the headland and up to the edge of the Cliffs of Moher. Number 2 would be to visit Donegal Castle, which sits up on the hill overlooking the village. Donegal Castle was built in the 16th century and overlooks the whole valley and out over the Aran Islands. Speaking of the Aran Islands, that's number 3 on the list. Doolin Pier is the best spot to take a ferry out to any of the Aran Islands, and I can recommend for a day trip to go out to the smallest island, Enniskerry. On a clear day you can see the east side of Enniskerry Island from Doolin Pier. Doolin would be known as the home of traditional Irish music, so don't forget to pop into a pub one of the evenings and enjoy what's known as a session. Doolin is the perfect place to explore the absolutely crazy karst landscape that's called the Burren. Things to do nearby include Doolin Cave and in Lisdoonvarna, the Burren Smokehouse. Village number 2 on my list is Enniskerry in County Wicklow. So Enniskerry is an absolutely tiny little place, but it has such a big footprint, and that is because it's been used by a lot of TV productions and film productions over the last 50 years. Enniskerry has been the backdrop to recent Disney films, a hell of a lot of TV shows from Ireland, the UK and the US. In Ireland, one of the most recognisable TV shows that Enniskerry is known for is Ballykissangel, which was a BBC television drama. It's also known as being the TV series in which Colin Farrell made his TV debut. Most recently in 2021, we had the filming of Disenchanted, the Disney musical featuring Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey. The village played the perfect backdrop for the fantasy village shown in the movie. Enniskerry has been used as a backdrop to other famous films including P.S. I Love You and Leap Year. And also it's famous because it's on the doorstep of one of the most beautiful estates in Ireland, the Powerscourt Estate. Powerscourt Estate was actually recently named the 3rd best garden in the world by National Geographic. In the background you can see the extinct volcano, locally known as the Sugarloaf. Along with the house and gardens, Powerscourt Estate is also home to the highest waterfall in Ireland. Enniskerry is actually quite young in the history of Ireland, dating back only to the 1840s, when it was a planned estate village attached to Powerscourt Estate. Enniskerry is the perfect first stop on a visit to County Wicklow, which is known as the Garden of Ireland. And with these views you can see why. Number 3 on my list is Adare, down in the county of Limerick in the southwest of Ireland. Some of you may have heard of a famous place called Adare Manor. And Adare Manor is a beautiful stately home that is now turned into a hotel and golf resort, but Adare village itself is one of the most beautiful and well kept villages in the country. Adare Manor will actually play host to the 2027 Ryder Cup, so this is the perfect place to visit for all you golf aficionados. Adare is a very ancient town with its first historical mention dating all the way back to 1226. It would be historically known as a market town. Another really impressive historical piece of Adare is Desmond Castle. It sits right on the edge of a river at the entrance to the town. It's definitely worth walking down the main street and checking out the thatched cottages which have now been turned into a number of very cool independent shops. It's the perfect place to find some handmade gifts for friends and family. Number 4 on my list is down in West Cork, which is a beautiful part of the world in and of itself, but this is such a unique place and it's called Castle Townshend. One of the most unique things about this little village is that it's built on a very steep hill down to a beautiful enclosed harbour. In the harbour you can see the castle, which is in fact a 17th century stately home owned by a family named the Townshends, who give the village its name. This English influence is why many of the houses on the main street are built in the Georgian style. One of the highlights of Castle Townshend is the nearby Knockdrum Stone Fort. It's not known whether the fort itself dates back all the way to the Stone Age, but it dates back at least to the Iron Age. Its location up on the hill overlooking the coastline is possibly one of the most breathtaking in Ireland. Number 5 on my list is the town of Dunmore East in County Waterford. Dunmore East would be quite a popular tourist town in Ireland, but really I think it's a hidden gem for international tourists. And that's because Waterford on the southeast coast of Ireland tends to not be high on the priority list for international tourists. Dunmore East is a beautiful fishing town right on the coast, and it has beautiful beaches, sailing, and amazing seafood restaurants. One of the top things to do here, besides obviously swim and eat amazing seafood, is to take the local cliff path walk. Dunmore East is another popular spot for golfers too, as there are several high quality golf courses nearby. Dunmore East and the nearby Tramore would be traditionally known as one of the top spots for Irish holidaymakers. It's great summer weather, and its proximity to both Dublin and Cork City make it the perfect spot to stop off even for a little day trip. And last but not least on my list is the little town of Killaloe in County Clare. What's most special about Killaloe is that although County Clare is most well known for the Burren and the Clare coast, this is on the eastern side in on the River Shannon. The River Shannon is the biggest river system in Ireland and a beautiful setting right on the banks of this river. Today, Killaloe would be one of the hubs for boating, and the river can take you all the way from County Clare up into the north of Ireland through the Shannon-Erne waterway system. Because of its setting on the River Shannon, it has really easy access to the very unique Lough Derg. Killaloe has a deep connection with Brian Boru, who was one of the most famous historical figures in Celtic Ireland. Living in 1000 AD, when Ireland had up to 150 different kings, Brian Boru is known as the first High King of Ireland for uniting all of these different warring clans. He is also known as being one of the first leaders to put an end to the Viking invasions of Ireland. The historic town itself is perfect for a stroll with a coffee, and make sure to snap some pictures of the beautiful 13-arch stone bridge that crosses the river. If you're not the boating type, you can always rent a bike and take off on the Lough Derg cycleway. This cycleway is perfect because it winds its way through a number of other picturesque little villages along the route. Killaloe has a regular farmers market, which is definitely not to be missed, and there's a number of other water sport activities on offer, like kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding. St. Flannan's Cathedral is also another landmark to definitely get a picture of. It dates back all the way to the 13th century. Killaloe is also a great hub if you don't want to stay overnight in Limerick City, and it is only a half an hour drive from the world famous Bunratty Castle. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to download the Woander app today in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.